The leaves are falling. Alright, YouTubers, I figured I would stop here real quick and try to do a ramble. I don't know how well it's going to work, but I'm going to try. The wind's pretty loud. Oh, one ramble. I got a friend. She's always worried about fear. She tends to like my rambles for some reason. I don't know. But she's always criticizing herself for fear running her life and that kind of thing. So I figured I would do a ramble about fear. Try to help her out a little bit, because I think she's kind of missing who she is a little bit. And I think this happens to a lot of people. In her case, she's one of those people that, again, she's always afraid that fear runs her life. But if you look at what she's done in the past few years, she's the exact opposite. Exact opposite. There's so many people that fear actually does run their life. But the difference between... fear is a big word, and it doesn't always fit every situation, because, you know, it's normal, smart, and intelligent to try to prepare yourself for unknown consequences of your actions. Now, if fear is the real thing, then you actually usually don't do anything, you know. Oftentimes, you know, we can let fear rule us into the point of inaction, or only seeing the downside. But when you realize something could have bad outcomes, and then do planning, because her, like many people, really like the research part of it. Spends a lot of times trying to figure out all the possible outcomes, all the scenarios that could happen. But at some point, we all have to get to that, okay, this is what I want to do. 27 bad things could come from me taking this action. But 2 really great things could happen. So it's all about deciding, you know, how much risk you want to take. And for many people, her included, her especially, fail to give themselves the credit they deserve for facing fear, because fear can be a very good thing, you know. How many times has fear stopped somebody from falling off the top of the Empire State Building, you know, because they were smart enough, you know, not to walk on the ledge, or whatever example you want to use. I see a turtle swimming down there. But for this individual, you're not afraid. Fear, you were about as far away from fear running your life as many people I know. When we weigh all the possible outcomes, you have to find a point at what you're comfortable with, you know? And when you find that comfort zone, it's fine. It's a good thing. There's something floating out there that's got my attention. If it's a turtle, it's a really big turtle. Okay, squirrel. Back on topic. But fear. I do know people, though, that fear does run their life. That, you know, I make these silly videos. People in my circle, people that know me, are envious of what I'm doing in the RV. And they often look at it like they couldn't do it because X, Y, or Z. And that makes me, I can't stop looking at whatever the hell's swimming out there. It just went under. I don't think it's a beaver. I think it's a turtle. Anyways, squirrel, back on topic. But we all find that balance, you know? And when you find that sweet spot, that happy spot, you stick with it, you know? But when you find something you tried that you took a big risk and didn't turn out as well as you expected, and you need to try another big risk, don't over worry, because you should have already realized that you've succeeded when taking big risks in the past. Without risk, there is no reward. And reward is seldom financial. or if the only reward you're looking for is financial, I found most people like that, myself included in the past, will be sadly disappointed in the outcome if they're only basing things on the monetary value. There's much more important things than money. I've told people I am poor in my wallet, but I'm rich in my soul. I'll take that. Man, that doesn't mean everything's always perfect. But again, it's a pointless ramble, and I get to these rambles and I never want to post them because I know they're not good, because I'm not saying things well. I'm just top of the head kind of rambling. But I know there's a lot of people when it comes to major life changes, major things, and RV topic is one. People are so afraid of, or concerned. Concern's a better word. People get so concerned of all the bad things that could happen. And there are tons of bad things that could happen if you choose to do RVing a lot. Whether you're doing it weekends sometimes, I call myself a sometimer, or you're doing it full time. There's countless bad things that can happen. There's countless things that could cause a person to be stuck into fear and not do it. But there's just as many bad things that could happen if you go buy a house.
Or stay in an unfulfilling situation.
The only thing is, you don't have to turn a key on your house usually. But everywhere can be your front door, It's going to start saying a lot, which I didn't, calling the RV like room with a view. I've had some bad things happen. Overall, not many. It always needs work. So does your house. If you're traveling in your RV, you usually don't have to mow the lawn. So if you look at stuff like this, or people like this, like most of us did, some of us that make videos started out watching other people trying to learn something. And everybody's got a little bit of trepidation. I want to use a different word than fear. Concerns. Trepidation's good. It can be baby steps, or it can be a great big leap. But if you have a simple dream, whatever it may be, you have to chase it. You have to. You owe yourself that. Life is short and precious. And the safe answer is usually not the most exciting or rewarding. If we all chose the safe answer, we'd all sell insurance or something. I don't know. I was sitting here trying to think of something that's like the safe way out. But when you've gotten to where you're taking a few baby steps and the next one seems to be too big a step, do your planning, do your research, make calculated decisions, but don't let the worst possible outcome be the only thing that's in your mind. Sprinkle in the best possible outcome. And give yourself credit, because most of us are far more capable of things than we often give ourselves credit for. I can't do this, I can't do... Sure you can. Okay. So that was a ramble about fear that one person will like. Again, if I post it. Because you're not afraid. You are one person who is not afraid. Stop telling yourself you are, because you're not. Remember where you were, where you've been, and where you're going. Fear, you are not a person run by fear. And to the rest of us, make wise choices. Take some risk every now and then. Try to have balance if you can. It's far better to fail than never try. And what ifs suck. To me, I think what ifs are about the worst thing in life. You're on your deathbed, you're whatever it might be. What ifs? I just think what ifs are a terrible thing. It can be bad. If fear was the only reason, you got to know yourself. Be true to yourself. And we only get one go round on this big blue marble. People should concentrate far more on their successes than their failures. But for some reason, we all dread failure far more than we enjoy winning. I know I was always like that in sports. I hated losing far more than I liked winning. And I think that mentality can be bad for all of us because we spend more time worrying about the worst than the best. So, long, pointless, silly ramble. But don't let fear run your life in any aspect. Because if you do that, you're not going to be able to have a great and wonderful day. And you deserve a great and wonderful day, don't you? All right, that's enough. Oh, and I wanted to add, don't doubt yourself so much. That's what everybody else wants to do for you anyways. Most of us can do whatever we set our minds to. Keep in mind, if you ask enough people, many, if not most, will say the greatest thing they ever did, they were scared shirtless when they were doing it. You want to know whose life is being run by fear? That person sitting on their sofa making up excuses why they can't do this or that. That's fear. Not those people out there chasing their simple dreams.